Good afternoon, everyone. This is LJ with the latest Spurs chat. Joining me today is Danny. Hello, Dan.
Hello, mate. You're right.
And we'll get straight to it. I mean, I'm regretting a bit doing the live last night. I shouldn't have done it. I was so annoyed. Woke up this morning and I was still annoyed and depressed. What has gone wrong at Tottenham Hotspur? Over to you, Dan. What happened last night as well? Dear, oh dear.
Where do we start? I think it's a familiar story that has been Tottenham for years. To be honest, it is who the club is, and unfortunately, that's what we as fans don't want. But we have to face up to those things at the moment. And I'm not going to lie, I turned it off at half time because what I was watching was not a Spurs team that I want to watch, regardless of who's playing or whatever. It was watching like a flipping coffin, basically. So somebody lying there in a coffin, motionless. And to me, that's how Tottenham is at the moment. There's just nothing there, and I think we can all sit, and there's been so many forums, Talk Sport, Last Word Spurs, that they've all been at it this morning. Everybody's annoyed. Everybody's had enough of it. So where'd you start? We can all sit here. We've all got an opinion on it. We're all angry, frustrated. I think it's got to the stage now where we are the media's joke, basically, and we are going to carry on being the media's joke whilst we have Levy in charge and we have Enoch in charge. Something needs to change. The club, if it strives and wants to achieve something and win a trophy, it needs to change. The whole mentality of the club needs to change. We cannot be, we could have a business and we could have a football team. It's whether they want to do it and whether they want to back a manager at the end of the day. And none of our managers have been backed, not one of them. And I don't care what anybody says, whether you're saying, yeah, we've spent this money. Yes, we've spent money, but it's not at players that maybe the managers wanted, that were seated in that seat. And I don't know, mate. Last night they didn't play with any. There was no passion there. Nobody wanted to do anything. The players looked like they were beat before they even came on the pitch. To be honest,
They did, yeah.
And I know, yeah. I know people have been saying, "Oh, it's this and it's that and all that lot," and just come out in his interview. And I think, to be fair, I'm done with watching these interviews now. That last night was watching him say there's 10 reasons why Tottenham are so far behind flipping Liverpool. He's blaming injuries, is he? Is that what he's blaming? Because
sorry, is that a valid excuse now?
No, I don't think it is. I don't think that they're not a valid reason at the end of the day. Right, a lot of those players on that pitch are international players playing for their countries. Regardless of whether it's Brazil or it's Slovakia or whoever, they're an international player. Players need to play with pride. Yeah. None of them, and I say none of them, the likes of Spence and Bergville and Archie Gray are young lads, and they, to me, are our future. But we've got to hold on to them. We won't have a future if we just sell them, because they'll get pissed off. They won't want to be playing football like it is now at Tottenham. Nobody had a smile on their face last night on that pitch. Nobody looked like they knew what they were doing. They were so tentative. The mentality and the mindset should be set up already. They're in a semi-final. They are literally 90 minutes away from getting to Wembley, and then we can go and attack Newcastle.
Yeah.
They just didn't even want to do it. Their mindset straight from the kick was, we need to defend this 1-0 flipping aggregate that we've got, and there was no fight. You watched Newcastle against flipping Arsenal. They were absolutely in their faces. They were breaking the game up. They were getting in their faces. They were tugging them, kicking them. Do you know what I mean? And I know Newcastle they're a better team than us at this moment in time. And fair play to them. They played the Gooners off the park. Their manager got everything right, and their players got everything right, and how they wanted to play and perform to get to Wembley. And yet again, Spurs, numerous semi-finals, numerous finals have let us down. People just don't turn up. People just don't have no enthusiasm. At the end of the day, if they didn't get paid, if we lost the game, I'm sure it'd be different. But yet, when they're sitting there getting 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200 grand a week for nothing, I just don't. The mentality at the moment around the club and the squad is, yeah, we'll just go out and play a football game. That's it. The mentality for Levy and the owners is, we want money. We'll announce Beyonce and all these other fucking things that's going on in the NFL and everything. All this money's coming into the club. Do we see any of it for the football team, which is what Tottenham should be about? No, we don't see it. So I'm just a little bit, at the moment, nothing will change because of Enoch and Daniel Levy at the moment. And yes, we can always say they've got the grounds and we've got the training ground and everything. And that is, yeah, fair play, they've done that. But he's supposed to be a Spurs fan. You can't tell me that Levy can sit there and be happy watching that. Do you know what I mean? But the buys that they did in January,
They didn't back him enough in January
they
at all.
didn't back him. Everything was done with like flipping 3 days to go, apart from Kinski, who wasn't supposed to come. And it's only because Vicario, they had to pay extra money to get him 6 months early. Because otherwise, otherwise Slava Prague weren't going to let him go. So they had to pay extra money to get him now because they didn't trust Forrester. And to be fair, I can understand why. But at the end of the day, Danzo come out of nowhere. He did play, and that's nothing against the player. It's nothing against the player, mate. But when you're budgeting a player at 20 million, what does that say? What does that say? And that's nothing against him as a player, but what does that say? Tell doesn't want to be here. Tell's just come for a kickabout, mate, for 6 months. There's no way he is staying and just come out and said that. Because to me, Angie's not going to be there. Angie's not going to be there next season. So it doesn't matter what he said. It doesn't matter that he can sit there and turn around and say, Telly's going to be here next season. I've not just brought him in for 6 months. He's going to be lucky to stay 6 months, Ange, because part of the problem is him as well. Yes, we've got injuries. You can't use the injuries as excuse. Time and time again, we've used injuries as an excuse because the players that we've got are good enough to go and beat teams. Liverpool are a different breed. They are. Slots come into that team. He's tweaked it a little bit, but he's inherited a team that has been building for 6, 7, 8+ years. They had to do that.
That comment there, what he put was, we got beat by a high IQ footballer on Dimble. I agree with that, but I didn't expect Spurs to get a result last night, right?
No, nobody did.
Yeah, but all I wanted to see was effort, courage, commitment, just effort, a bit of pride. But they did, and Anne said that I didn't set him out to play like that. Well, they're not listening to you then.
That's bollocks.
And two, why didn't you change it at half time? No subs at half time.
I think Richarlison was carrying an injury anyway because he's just fucking flaky.
He's made a Weetabix, he is.
Oh, mate, fuck's sake. I'm not being funny. Yes, okay, Liverpool have got world-class players. This is the difference at where we are as a club. Liverpool is world-class. And I ain't got a shame in fucking saying that. I've got a lot of good friends.
In the first leg.
Mate, yeah, I know. I've got a lot of good friends who are Liverpool fans, right? Yeah. But they were saying already, when it comes to Anfield, we're not even bothered about you being one. I don't think they'd have even been bothered if we were 2-0 up, to be honest. That's the mentality of where the two clubs are at the moment. They knew they were going to win. They knew that they were going to win.
Someone said on a thing last night that the Liverpool fans were actually bored because it was so easy.
Yeah, well, they didn't have to get out of second gear, did they? Really? No. They put a bit of pressure on. I mean, there's not one of our players that started last night that actually get into Liverpool's team, let alone the squad.
And the sad thing is, from me, it's sort of a good thing, sort of a bad thing is, in my opinion, the younger players are putting the older, more experienced players to shame. As I told you earlier, the midfield of us last night, and I could see why Ange's done it. Bissouma, Bentancur and Sarr committed one foul between them all game. That to me says no fight whatsoever.
Nothing, mate.
Absolute pony last night.
Liverpool didn't. Okay, to obviously to your mate, he's put the comment on. Liverpool didn't have to break out second gear to make us look shit.
No, they didn't.
They didn't. Their play was just too crisp in that gear. They could have. They had 2 or 3 more gears to go up.
They did, yeah.
We didn't get in their faces. Every time we went forward, there was no support. There was nobody there. Do you know what I mean? There was no, and not being do you know what? It pains me that the club has gone that far. And do you know what? To refresh my memory again, I watched Antonio Conte's interview back after that Southampton game.
And I couldn't disagree with it.
And do you know what? Right? For me, he is the only person who has actually come out and said it as it is. And I don't care what people say. That's my opinion. That's me, having been a footballer and having been where I've played. That is him as a manager. He did not see any fight. He didn't see any fire. What he's saying is that is the ethos of the club. 20 plus years, the owners have been there. We have not achieved anything. No. We've not achieved nothing. Even you can't even say it's an achievement to get to the Champions League final because the end product was we sacked fucking Poch at the end of it, and then another manager comes in. Every manager that's been in has to work with the same problem. Levy and Enoch. All
mentality starts from the top.
Sorry?
The mentality starts from the top.
Yeah, it is. Do you know what I mean? Kulo's been awful for weeks.
I wanted to pull him off after 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah. He's not one for tracking back. He doesn't want to be doing any of that graft. Even when he plays for Sweden, he's got flipping players that will do that, the midfield. I mean, let's face it, right? Our midfield is the one place that hasn't had a lot of injuries, to be fair.
That's the strongest part.
Right? So that should be, but it tells me a story. I've never rated Biss. No. Never rated him. He's had one good season at Brighton. Never rated him. Sarr was this all singing and dancing bloke that's coming from France, from French football. He showed glimpses of what he can do, but I think he has to have the right calibre of player next to him. Bentancur, love him. I love he's a bit of a grit and determination, but I think he's down. I think since his injury, he's slowed him a little bit, and it does after having an ACL injury. It does take the edge off of it. I think he's from 2 years ago when he was hammering into people, running, taking people on. I think he's a totally different player now. So you can't. I feel for him. I really do. They're struggling. Do you know what I mean? Son's. I mean, I love the bloke. What he's done. But he's finished. He is. He's unfortunately he is, and he's suffering. You can see it in his play. He gets the odd goal here now and then, but I said to you last night, I didn't even realise that it felt like I didn't know that he was on there, and that was the same as Kulusevski. And yeah, Richarlison plays. He's been a waste of money. He's been a waste of money most places he's been. He's a poor Brazilian. So
what are we going to do now until Solanke gets back? We're in big trouble there. I don't think Tell's got the physique to hold the ball up in a number 9.
No, I don't think that's his. I mean, he wants to be a striker, but I mean, to me, he's the striker that wants to play off a striker, somebody that can hold the ball up or nod the ball on, and I think he's that bit part player that will run in behind and stuff. Yeah. So he's not that pinpoint like Solanke can do. Mate, it's going to be a hard task now for the rest of the season. Yeah, Sarr does do a lot of running about, but I mean, he's had games where he's been quality. He's had games.
Are you allowed to, if you're in desperate need, are you allowed to get loan players back? I think Lankshire's gone out on loan. He can hold the ball up. I'm just trying to think. We need someone to hold it up, and we haven't got anyone.
Nah, I mean, Scarlett's not that type of player either.
No, Lancashire is.
But I do like Scarlett. I think Lancashire's not playing now because they went and signed fucking Armstrong, didn't they?
That's what I mean. I wonder if they can get him back.
I don't know, mate. Depends. I just think that I've seen people saying today, "Oh yeah, Vicario's coming back and all that lot," and Kingsky. And this. You can't blame fucking Kingsky. The lad's fucking young. He's coming. He's been thrown in. Do you know what I mean? And he did look nervous last night.
Did,
But then, I mean, Liverpool's press last night,
Mental,
mate. I'm not being funny. For the first 45 minutes, Van Dijk was standing in the centre circle. He was in that centre circle pushing, flipping his right and left back on. He was pushing them so far up the point because he knew that the pressure on us and we'd make a mistake eventually. Do you know what I mean? And it only one goal.
There. I didn't know they could do that. If that's the case, they want to get out there and get someone in.
Well, who's going to want to come?
If that's right, is that right, Dan? I think we can sign a European player up to 11, but they want to get out there, mate.
I don't know, honestly.
They won't, will they?
The thing is, they probably won't, because what Levy's probably looking at is they've got players that are going to come back. I mean, fucking hell, the whole Van de Ven thing's fucking been an absolute joke. An absolute joke. You can't tell me the amount of hamstring injuries that we are having. No other team fucking has it.
Well, he came out the other day, Ange, and said that we haven't trained properly for 4 months, so it's nothing to do with the injuries, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but I said to you, I seen that stat where Tottenham, I said it's Tottenham, basically. He's asking them, Tottenham do the most running back without the ball. And they're having to literally sprint.
Yeah.
And somebody's hamstrings, when they've gone and they've had operations on them, they're fucking shot to bits, mate. You need
to be worried with that event. Yeah.
To be fair, Danzo did all right last night.
He actually did.
He headers. He made a couple of decent passes down the line to like.
He done a 40-yard diagonal pass as soon as the start of the game.
Yeah, and to be fair, I mean, yeah, maybe if he's got, is Van de Ven going to be able to stay fit to play a season?
I don't think so.
I don't think he will. Not in.
Romero probably go to Madrid.
Yeah, well, I think that's a given anyway, mate, to be honest.
I think he's pissed Levy off anyway.
And then we can turn around and say, oh, yeah, but we've got this player coming who's out on loan and he's a young player and this, that and the other. But they've still got... The problem is players come into this club and all of a sudden, because it's downbeat, they adopt that style. They're mimicking what the fucking players there are doing now.
I think that Romero's pissed Levy off as well with what he said.
Yeah, well, Levy can fuck off for all I care, mate. I would not be. I think I read something either yesterday or was it yesterday or the day before about Levy. There's something to do with the valuation of the club at the moment. He's trying to be seen to be backing the manager, to show face, because he wants to try and keep the value of the club up as high as what he can. Because, I mean, I said to you, the only way that Levy is going to stop we're going to get Levy out is by people not going.
There's a demonstration before the Manchester United game, isn't there?
Yeah, but what's going to happen though? They're going to demonstrate and then they're all going to go walk in.
Exactly. But is there a 2-week international break coming? Because Anne said that he's got 2-3 weeks to.
I don't know.
I wasn't aware of that.
I don't know. Mate, I can only fucking think about fucking last night at this moment in time. It's
same. I'm so
it's just it. Do you know what? We're all going to sit here. And we're all going to go through everything in our minds, what we want. But as far as I'm concerned, it starts at the top, and it has done for 20 plus years, and that is where the rotten core is. At the fucking top. They're the ones with the money. They're the ones that control everything in the club. They're happy to fucking go and spunk off to fucking Beyonce and get your fucking boxing in, your F1, your fucking NFL, fucking everything. It's just... I'm an ex-season ticket holder. Don't go anymore.
I'm an armchair fan now, really, mate, because we can't afford to go.
Well, no. Do you know what I mean? You're pricing the actual football fan out of a game now because it is just the business. And like I say, certain clubs have a majority of their fans are tourists now that just go there to see their players.
It's sad times, man. I can't
Don't
see.
know any of the songs. Don't know probably any of the players. Just go there for one player. And I'm not saying that because Sonny's given us a good Korean base. Do you know what I mean? There's the money that he brings in alone is going to be phenomenal. But have we seen any of that? Have we? Fuck. I just don't. At this moment in time, they won't sack Ange. They won't sack him until probably like the at the end of the season. They'll let him go. That's what I think. We'll lose. I can't see us winning Sunday against Aston Villa. They've made a couple of good signings. Players that will want to that will want to go out if they play and show why they should be at their own clubs now.
I'd bung as many kids in as I can on Sunday if that was me. I really would. I would.
It's like him saying, and said, "Oh yeah, we're still in this cup, we're still in that cup," and all that lot is rubbish at the end of the day, because potentially in 3-4 weeks' time we could be out fucking everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I think we all expected, to be honest, Dan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't expect us to beat Liverpool. I don't expect us to beat Villa. I really don't.
No.
Unless they have got a bit of pride and it's been hurt from yesterday. Because we do all right.
Yeah, but I'm not being funny, mate. The players are not showing anything, regardless of whether they don't like the system or whether they don't like. Mate, I'd be embarrassed if I was those players. I would absolutely be so embarrassed. There's no fight in them. They're flat.
No.
The mindset's not there. The mentality is clearly, which is what the club is at the moment, and everybody says it all the time. It's only Tottenham. You've heard all those quotes before that fucking Ferguson never even used to have to give a team talk to Man United, because he'd turn around and say in the change room, it's only Tottenham. Yeah. And that is the mentality that has been Tottenham. And the thing is, Tottenham are the team that keep giving. They keep giving them, the media, the evidence for everybody to think what shithouses we are at the end of the day. Ipswich, Crystal Palace, all these teams that have not won games come to Tottenham. Everton, Tottenham. Do you know what I mean? It's too fucking familiar, and like I say, it's boring now. Nobody wants to see it. I wouldn't mind losing to Liverpool last night. I know that they're a better team and in a better place.
It's the way you lose, ain't it?
Yeah, exactly. It's rotten, mate, and it starts at the top. Levy's caused the problems because of his fucking like Glow says, like about the money and everything and all that lot. He thinks he's being fucking shrewd by bringing all the money in. It's the football team that actually is being hit at the moment massively. Yeah. If we were to go down, Tottenham would have to take a massive hit.
Yeah, but I'm a bit worried now, as I said, with the upfront business. I really am.
Charlton won't come back anytime soon, will he?
It's just, I'm really down about it today, Dan. I'll be honest, and I'll try and be like, looking for ways, excuses. And I've backed Ange to a certain degree, give him time. But my opinion was, you had enough players on there, and I'm not saying to everyone out there to get a result. I just thought, show a bit of fight, because that's all I expect. I didn't expect a result. But only, in my opinion, Gray, Danzo, Spence, off the top of my head, showed anything.
Yeah, that was it. Bergville, when he came on.
Bergville always does. I think he's a good player. I think he should have started with Bergville.
It's hard to say what I'm going to say.
You've got that young Tell, though, right? You've got that young Tell trying to press and shouting to our so-called leader, captain, to come up and press. And then after the game, you've got a young man in Bergville shouting at Bentancur, where are you going down a tunnel? Come and applaud the fans.
Yeah, exactly.
It should be the other way round.
Yeah.
I really feel for them youngsters. And I sort of said, whatever youngsters you've got on Sunday that you think could do a job, bung them in and get rid of the other ones. The prima donnas that are just there for their dough. Get rid of them, man.
Christ almighty. You can't tell. The problem is, right, every manager that we've had is always fighting against Levy and the fucking owners, regardless. As soon as they come in, they're not going to have full control of the transfer fucking purse. They ain't going to have it because they're not going to get the money. Because Levy don't want to pay fucking over the odds for a fucking player. That's shit bust. He doesn't want to do it. He's never done it, and that's shit bust. I mean, he's had to take fucking hits on that fucking tongue going on Dembele, waste of fucking money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
historically,
you can't get every transfer, right? Can you? You know what I mean?
No, you can't. Jesus Christ, that's what football's about, isn't it? You can't. You're not going to get everything right. But I mean, see, I keep coming back to Conte. Conte was right. He hit it on right. He said the right things. Tottenham don't play for anything important.
No, they don't.
So how would they know how to win? How would they know how to adopt their mentality? Do you know what I mean? They don't like playing under stress or pressure that he so called it. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, stop making excuses. Stop making excuses. The players, the manager, the owners, stop making excuses and fucking face the facts.
Last night, though, Dan, if you're a manager, all you got to say you haven't really got to give a team talk. You could have just said, look, lads, no one expects us to win tonight. Everyone expects us to get hammered. There is no pressure on you. There's no pressure on you. Go out, enjoy it, enjoy the atmosphere, and let's get us to a final. We deserve a final after all the injuries and turbulation, what's been going on this year. Go out and prove yourselves. That's it. So you're not putting any pressure on them. There's no pressure on them anyway.
No.
They went there. You could almost see it when they
were beat. They were beat before they even kicked off, mate.
Yeah, when you're walking up a tunnel, the look of trepidation on their faces.
Yeah.
Oh, bloody hell. But I do not understand that. I do not understand. Like we said at the start, when you saw the midfield, you wasn't happy with it. And I said, well, I can't. I wasn't
happy with it, mate. I wasn't happy at all with it, to be honest.
I was trying to think how he's thinking. Oh, we'll keep it tight for half hour.
But he's played a 4-3-3. What fucking day on earth is he playing fucking 4-3-3 against fucking one of the best passing teams in the world at this moment in time?
But I was screaming at the telly. I was saying to Harry, he's got to say to him at half time, look, we can't get out of our half. Instead of trying to keep it when you're free, even if, I know it sounds silly, but even if you try and win a throw-in, a little 10 yards inside Liverpool's half, just to give us a breather, just to get everyone up, and you can start from there. But he was just coming back. Oh, it was absolutely.
But the thing is, right, you play in that 4-3-3 system, so the three weren't narrow in the middle, and then the three up top of Richarlison. There's no point Richarlison pressing if Kulusevski and fucking Son are not going to do any running.
That's what I said.
Son and Kulusevski don't come back. They do not track back in a way that is going to help the team. And when they did, I mean, how many times last night when Son tracked back to double up on Salah, he passed the fucking ball to that young Bradley so many times. The ball's whipped in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Because after 28 minutes, that's when Liverpool had their first shot on target, right? I thought, they're doing all right. They're not playing offensively spectacular, but we're holding it, right? That's their first shot. So say half an hour, because it's 28 minutes, just his first shot. Now's the time to start coming out, playing your own football. You know what I mean? We frustrated.
Well, yeah, because they should have had time to settle down.
Yeah, they didn't do it.
No. And to be fair,
they went there.
It was a stupid pass by fucking Basuma, and he did not look. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I've watched it 3 or 4 times. He was not looking where he was passing it.
No, he wasn't. No.
Because Sarr was already on the run, and he fucking passed it way behind him. And the problem is, because they were looking to go forward, there you go.
Well, I felt a bit bad because I know one of the goals, I think it was the one that led up to the penalty, was Davis give it away. But I don't really have a go at him too much because he's been excellent for us, to be honest.
I didn't watch the second half, mate, so I can't comment.
And the keeper had a rush of blood to the head. I don't know. Oh, dear. It could have been.
But I mean, if he doesn't come out and he stays in his goal, is the player in on goal? Has the defender stayed with him? Can the player not usher him?
So you got to think quick, ain't you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But there was another bit. I think it was in the 91st minute. Jota had a completely free header 6 yards out.
Oh yeah, I've read some of the stories.
That would have been 5. See, I've always said give hands a chance, but when I see that the players don't seem to be carrying out his instructions, because that's basically what he said, then you need some new impetus, even if it's to get an interim in. I'm seeing a lot on social media today saying get Redknapp in for an interim period. And it may sound funny or stupid, but I wouldn't mind that. Because I think any half-decent manager could get... I know he's got injuries. I've got 10 players out. I know we have. But the players that was on the pitch last night, there's no excuse not to carry out a plan you've said and no excuse not to fight. And
well, no, because they've been playing that way all fucking season.
Yeah, but I'm not having to go at the youngsters here at all. Because
I don't think it's fair because the youngsters are putting the so-called older fucking players to fucking shame. And at the end of the day, everybody in the media nobody expected Tottenham to win.
No.
Nobody expected us to win. You cannot be
no
happy.
Pressure on them.
Yeah, exactly.
No pressure on them at all. There's no excuse for that last night.
I was listening to TalkSport earlier, and one caller basically turned around and said the players need to come out and they should have faced up to all the 6,000 Spurs that travelled up to flipping Bin Dipper land and flipping, and basically they should be apologised to and get their money back. Yeah, that ain't going to happen.
They should refund the fans for that. I was quite surprised that when the players went over to applaud the away fans, there was no abuse showered at them, to be honest.
I think the fans
done that the other week. So what do you reckon Sunday then? Are we going to see a reaction or is it going to be the same old shit?
Well, you just don't know, do you? You just don't know what Tottenham you're going to get. I mean, you've got okay, Brentford, we beat them 2-0, but Brentford were nowhere near what they're normally like and maybe that might have been down to a little bit of the players being more defensive minded. You never know. That looked like it. There was a bit of steel there. They were basically knocking on the door, but were they knocking on the door? Do you know what I mean? Their chances they had, were they clear-cut chances, some of them? Do you know what I mean? So I come Sunday, my heart wants us to flipping win. I just want them to go out and fucking show a bit of fight. They don't even show any fight, mate. They don't even show any aggression. There's nothing in them. Their eyes are dead. There's nothing. There's nothing in their eyes or their demeanour that shows to me that they've got some fight and balls about them. I mean, I'm not being funny. I would not be fucking happy playing in that Spurs. I would be fucking yelling. I wouldn't give a fuck if it was Son, if it was fucking one of the young lads. I would be shouting my fucking bollocks
at
those fucking players. If they're not pulling the fucking weight, I'd be giving them a fucking right hammering. Even at half time, I'd be giving them a fucking hammering. It's just... people just don't do it anymore. Too frightened of upsetting people. Oh, no, you can't say anything. You're not...
No leaders. We've had no leaders for... We've been saying that.
No, we haven't.
But Villa, Danny, they got a very high line, so there is a chance. I mean, don't do too bad out there. So
yeah, but you say high line. Who have we got? Kulusevski, Son.
Well, I'm hoping that Tell gets a chance.
Yeah, but mate, what's the point of having him up there if he ain't getting fuck all?
Well, just ping it over the top and say...
Kulusevski can't cross with his fucking right. Oh. When he plays on the right, he predominantly receives the ball closest to the sideline because he's left fucking footed, so he's naturally facing backwards towards the defender straight away.
He still looks like he's running in treacle to me.
And he's fucking he's got his fucking concrete fucking boots on.
Yeah, it is concrete boots, and it's bad.
Because he's looking for that foul. He's looking for the player. He doesn't open his legs up and get the ball out of his feet. He's looking for that player to commit a foul on him.
Well, we'll have to just wait and see, Dan. But I'm absolutely gutted.
I'm not holding any fucking hope that we'll go to Villa Park, which is a hard place to go, and it is anyway. Do you know what I mean? And in the form that we're in, there's no... the mentality of the players is that they're losers in my eyes, and they're not going to win fucking anything. That is the mindset that's being driven into them. I can't imagine what that fucking Aussie is saying to them, because I just think he's a Timbot fucking manager, regardless of where he's fucking won things. He's not won anything at the fucking top. He's fucking won fucking championships in fucking Celtic. I'm not being funny, mate. Fucking Celtic are the best team in fucking Scotland.
I think we can get there.
You've got this 2-horse race.
Yeah, it's shit.
Do you know what I mean? Yes, he's won a cup. Yes, he's done the treble. But fucking hell, you're not going to get fucking Arbroath or someone like that fucking challenging for the cups and leagues, are there?
It's a different level, mate.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. I mean, I would bung the youngsters in Bergvall. I'd put Gray in midfield. I'd probably start Mikey Moore. I mean, I watched a clip of that Yang the other day playing for QPR. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He's rapid and all.
Yeah. On the front foot.
Give him a chance then.
Fuck off. It's fucking Ange
Bung
Postecoglou.
Bung him in, man. What have you got to lose? As many youngsters as you can. Please bung him in. Because I have had enough of these players, the older ones.
What would please me is that we managed to stay in the fucking Premier League.
Yeah.
And that for the rest of the season, we managed to stay in the Premier League. We managed to show some fucking fight Sunday. And even if they're dead on their fucking feet, at least we've fucking seen some fight. They go into the next fucking round of league games with that fight. European games, you've got to fucking fight. It's a one-off fucking game. They've got to go for it. It realistically is our last chance, in my eyes, of winning a cup, the Europa League. I think it's quite an open. It's a different competition in Europe. It's naturally a little bit slower for some teams, so that may suit us a little bit more. But there's some fucking good teams left in there. Fucking very good teams left in there. Yeah. So I don't expect him to be manager fucking come the summer. And what is fucking inevitable though is that Levy and Enoch are going to be there. So we're just going to go around the fucking same merry-go-round again, where we're going to get a manager.
Something that we've got to accept, but it's hard to accept, isn't it?
Well, it is, because what's the point in? You're not going to attract a top-class fucking manager, regardless of whether Mourinho was fucking past it or not. He's still a top-class manager. Yeah. Conte, fucking top-class fucking manager.
What we were saying the other day, if all these managers are failing, there's a common denominator, and that is Levy and Enoch. It's not. Yeah.
You cannot go out and fucking buy 20-odd million pound players and expect to win a cup and fucking the league with that. And it's nothing against the players, with that caliber of player. You have to be going out and spending fucking 40, 50, 60 odd million, 70 million on these players. You need world-class leaders.
What I'd like to see, and not just at Tottenham and all, I think a lot of clubs have gone wrong with this. When we was growing up in like the 80s, just say Ange was our manager in the 80s, right? He'd go out and pick his players to buy. None of this director of football bullshit and all that. He would have his own scouts, and then they'd report back to him. He would decide, or he'd know players he wanted.
Yeah, chairman doesn't need to get involved in it.
Yeah, why don't they just go back to the old ways and just let the manager do it?
And see, the other thing as well is, you think about years ago, fucking hell, nobody was talking about, he gets fucking 5,000, he gets 10,000. It's all talk about fucking money and about fucking image and this, that, and the other. And you never used to have that. Do you know what I mean? You're talking about fucking players being good and stuff and all that. We never used to talk about those things about money and how much that player was fucking earning. You were there to support that team and support those players. Do you know what I mean? But now it's all about, I want this money, I want that money.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what I think one of the things they should look at. You know,
well, to be fair, it's fucking. They should have squashed how much you can fucking earn in football. That's what's fucking been money has ruined fucking football, to be honest.
Because they don't care.
No, I mean, you fucking hell. Let's face it. I mean, that Duran, he's just fucking. That's ridiculous, mate. That shows me that he is money orientated and not about winning anything.
Yeah. You go over there to finish your career if you want a bit of a bump at the end of it.
Well, yeah.
I think he's only 21, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Agreed. He's probably playing.
Did he not come out in the fucking media and say, "Oh yeah, I've been watching fucking Saudi football for years," and all that?
Yeah, he's talking
bollocks. Absolute fucking bollocks.
Bollocks, yeah. And he'd be playing in front of 900 people. That's it. It's a joke.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then a lot of them are superimposed in there.
You wouldn't want to do that, would you? Surely.
No, would you fuck? Going from playing at fucking Villa Park and like in the Premier League and Champions League to playing, like you say, against fucking goats and fucking cow herders. Fuck off. Fuck's sake.
Oh, what's going on? Well, let's try and keep the chin up, Dan. I don't know.
Yes, mate, we'll keep our chin up.
We'll see what happens. See, it wouldn't surprise me if we went and beat Villa. This is how mental it is. It really wouldn't. But if he loses that, especially if he gets hammered.
Mate, he's not going to get sacked. Levy is not sacking. Levy is making a point now. He is not sacking him. He ain't sacking him. He will let him go at the end of the season. That's when I think it'll happen. There's no way.
Say that I gave him as much time as I could.
Yeah.
Well, what happens if we're like 4th from bottom with 5 games to go?
Then we're getting relegated.
Because you still won't sack him, you think?
I don't think he'll sack him, mate.
So absolute mess. And to be honest with you, I know he said it is an absolute disgrace that they didn't back him a lot more.
I just don't know at what point he would warrant sacking him, because a lot of other managers have been sacked
for far less.
For far fucking less.
Yeah, but all these people that say that, let's wait till he got his players back, and I was willing to give that time, but we were still losing to shit teams when we had a full team.
But it's like that, mate. It's been so
since the Chelsea defeat.
It's been our culture. Our culture has been hire and fire fucking managers.
Yeah.
That's what it's been.
Yeah.
And you can say, yes, Chelsea's had fucking X amount of fucking, probably about the same as us, but they've had success. They had a period where they've got history now to talk about, because they never had much history before that, apart from being a club in fucking London. Do you know what I mean? They were always a mid-table.
And they had a chairman who went out and bought good players.
Yeah. So they've got their success. They've bought that success. Man City, you can see where they bought their success, because one time they were playing in the Vauxhall Conference, and now all of a sudden they've gone back up.
Oh, Dan, let's just recollect our faults.
Tottenham shit. I've rethought, mate. Tottenham's still shit.
They are. I'm really disappointed. Well, cheers for coming on. We both needed a rant, didn't we?
Yeah, mate. Fucking hell. The dogs are fed up with fucking listening to me now. They just go to fucking sleep.
What lighters we got, haven't we?
Fucking shy.
It's so depressing, isn't it? It makes it even more depressing when you see that everything, the infrastructure, the finance is there. Everything's there to succeed, and they just don't want to know.
No. And do you know what? It doesn't matter what platform you're watching anything, regardless whether it was last night, today, every single day, every single game, it's always the same theme. Injuries, manager, Levy, Enoch, over and over and over again. It's the mentality, it's the character. That's just who they are. That's Spurs. It's fucking boring now, mate. We know the media doesn't like Spurs. No media wants to see Spurs fucking do anything. But when you've got ex-fucking players that are saying it as well now.
Yeah, but we're giving the media ammunition.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, the club is. I honestly, I feel fucking rotten for all the people that fucking have to go and that can get to these games and come in. You can't get fucking tickets anymore because
it was freezing. Some geezer said this morning he didn't get back till 4 o'clock this morning. It must have been freezing up there, man. 6,000 went up there. I mean, that's a long following, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, a long way. All right, then, Dan.
Yes, mate. Good.
I'll speak to you soon, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no dramas, mate. I'll catch up hopefully with better news on Sunday.
Hello.
Leave you out.
Leave you out.
See you later.